Yeah. So what we're going to do is to connect a Facebook Live to the Zoom and to a scheduled Zoom so that when your Zoom comes up, it automatically connects to the Facebook Live, right? And it's all interconnected there, right? So this is what we're going to do. So the first
Okay.
thing we need to do is we need to go and actually set up the Zoom itself. Uh, so we're going to go to Facebook and we're going to set up the Zoom. Now, uh, in this, and I'll share in, I'm going to share screen in a moment here. Just want to get to the right things. Okay, yeah, I've got Facebook open. And now, first point to be aware of when we're doing this is that when you do a live, you can do so in different places, right? You can do it on your page, you can do it on your timeline, the group. It's very important to be aware that when you set up your event, you have to know
Okay.
where you're going to do this. All right. So when you create the event, the best for practice is to create it where you're going to be sharing. Like in this case, I'm setting up my event for the live on Friday. I'm going to be doing it in group. So I'm here, I'm in my group, and so there. Right. So, and to get there, you go here to the browse tab. It's under browse. I don't know. It's just a peculiar thing. Go to events. And of course, the next thing I'm going to do is click create event. Okay. So you're just going to have to bear with my slightly slow computer. Is what it is. At least it will make the steps easy to follow. So come on. There we go. Okay. So event name. And I have this here already set up. This is just my blog posts for making this, and it's just a convenient way to do this. That was last week's one, so part 3. Start date and time, obviously very important. We're going to do Friday the March. Friday the start time is going to be at 9 o'clock my time. So be aware if you post your time, right, that
Right.
like on my notification, I say I use Pacific time, just because people don't know Mountain time and Arizona's in its own bubble.
Right.
Anyways, I use Pacific or Eastern or whatever. So just make sure that you don't put in here the time that you're saying that's not your own timeline, right? Otherwise,
Right.
it gets confusing, right? So
Okay.
9 to 10. Set it for an hour. Is this in person or virtual? And this is where it makes a difference now. It's virtual, right? A lot of people, there's like, but I'm going to be there in person. No, it's not about you attending. This is about how the mechanism. You're not getting people to come to an event that you are going. I'm going to give in the town hall down the street. That's what they mean, right? Sometimes events are like that, right? And it's a Facebook Live. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this external link is a link that can be to, let's say, another program where you're running it on YouTube. I'm making an announcement and I'm saying I'm going to be live in YouTube, and you can put a YouTube link. But we want to do this Facebook Live, right? So I'm explaining. It's some of the stuff you
Thanks.
probably know. It's redundant, but it's just helpful, right? So who can see this now? For whatever reason, since I'm already here in the group,
Right.
then it was highlighted. But if I was making it elsewhere, then you'd say, okay, we can see it here. Just a complication. So the details, since I'm organized, I have this already set up, ready to go. You know, just using the content from my blog post, and this is easy because all right. So there we go. Got extra spaces. All right, and see, John.
Yep.
Subscribe for email delivery. Still Sebastian substack.com, right? So
Okay.
to keep plugging your Substack. Yes. So whatever, I just put it wherever I can, adding awareness. You never know. All right. So now we say we've got all this done, and we're going to create the event. One more step, and this is to add the picture. Right? It's very easy to forget, because you can go and do it afterwards, but
Okay.
yeah. So it's easier to do it here. It's easier to do it here. Right? It's not obvious in those steps.
No. Right.
Yeah. And I already created this ahead of time so that we can go smoothly here. Get to the right folder. Come on now. Where's my folder? What happened to my folders? It's going to be a folder that says title and it's not showing it to me. I just put it in there 2 seconds ago. Oh, that's really weird. Where did that folder go? I just made it before you came on. Literally 5 minutes ago. I was busy working on this. Oh, it's very interesting. What happened to the folder?
Do you need to put in a photo?
Yeah, I've already made it. It's in a folder, but the folder is missing. It should be underneath graphics. It should say title images. And that's what the folder is called, title images. And it just disappeared now. I don't know where it is. It's the most peculiar thing. I never seen this before. I don't know what happened. There we go. It got moved somewhere. I don't know where. Why? All right. Let's move you back again. You want to be difficult? You see? Or whatever now. Come on. All right. So here we are. Title images done. Sorry, that was just a truly anomalous thing. It's just really strange. How that it just went from one folder to another. How I don't. Okay, so you have to wait for it to upload. It's a little slow. In this, I usually do it first actually, and then I fill in all the stuff while it uploads. So we got Facebook Live, in person. Check all my.
Okay.
So this is also useful now while I'm here, just to copy this because I'm going to use it again when I make the listing in module 6. This is part 3.
Okay.
Come on. So I always check this stuff,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this when I go to Zoom and make the event. All right, there we go. It's all set up and ready. And check this positioning. Right. So when I make this in Canva, it specifically has a format, a template to say for Facebook events, and because it's a different size, right? So if you want to use that right size, and that way it cuts off some of it, but you get it where you see the text. Otherwise, it can sometimes cut off and you don't see what you're trying to say. So be sure to have it look right here, right? Otherwise, it doesn't come right. Okay, so we create the event. And now you think, well, that's all done. Well, kind of. But now we need to link this to Zoom. Right. So now it says set up the live video. Okay. And we need to do this in order to connect it to Zoom. But if you're only going to do an event and that's it, and you're basically going to go live in Facebook itself, not on Zoom. And you're using their software, which isn't so cool because you can't screen share as nicely and all this, right? So then you don't need to do anything more. But if you want to connect it to Zoom, then you need to say set up the live video. All right. So now we go set up the live video. So this is the part that's unobvious, is this fact of setting up and connecting to. That was all fairly obvious. And like I said, if you're going to do it, just go live in Facebook using, the Facebook camera and voice and stuff. Okay, you don't need to do anymore. But we don't want to do that. We want to be on Zoom because Zoom is a lot more fluid, it's a lot more effective. The connectivity is better. You can do things like screen share and raising hands and all sorts of stuff. That's fun, right? So that's why we. So it's a little slow. We just have to wait. Okay. While we wait for that, because it's going to ask us to do this, we have to now go to our Zoom setup page. Now, this is not, if you see here, there's the two icons with Zoom, and you know this from your own computer, right? And when I click on this, I don't think you see the screen, correct? You don't see where it says return to meeting or, schedule share screen, right? You don't see that where you start the Zoom from, right? To join the Zoom. You're not seeing this window over here now, right? You're not seeing the Zoom window, correct? Okay. Is that right? You're only seeing the underneath the web. page. You're not seeing the typical, this one. You're not seeing this here, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, nothing happens. When I click on this, you're not seeing a window pop up, right?
I'm not.
Okay, right. So I just want to make this aware because Zoom doesn't show its own window. But we've got
Oh,
two
I see.
Zoom ways to get two things, right? So you've got that Zoom window that you typically join from, and then you've got your Zoom, and you can get to it, your Zoom super detailed Zoom stuff, you can get to it through view more settings. If I click on this, it will open up the page, the web page, right? Which is
Right.
what's underneath here now, right? So this is zoom.us, my profile, right? And I've got this bookmarked, of course, so that I can get here easy. Right? And a lot of people who use Zoom don't know that this exists, right? Because they're just used to using Zoom via this.
Right.
I
Sure.
can't show you this one down here because it doesn't show, right? But this is
Thanks.
where it's like all super sophisticated. You can do everything. Now, it's good to know here because you can set up things like have your recording start automatically and all sorts of stuff, right? So it's worth
Okay.
going through this, but we don't have to worry about that now. All we want to know is in order to connect your Zoom, your
Right.
scheduled Zoom to the Facebook Live, because we've scheduled the event now, right? I have to click on schedule, okay?
Okay.
And I have to schedule this now. So we're going to wait for it to come up, and then we'll go back to Facebook, right? So this is very important to find out where this is, right? It's like where you
Right.
log into Zoom, your account online, not on the app on the computer itself. Okay, see why I copied that part? Because I've got it here now. And when is on March 3rd. And again, this is 9. Now pay attention to the AM here. I think this defaults to when you're making this. If you make it in the afternoon, it will say PM here. Okay?
Right.
So be aware that this might catch you unawares here.
Sure. It's the American style, not European.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
24 hours. But anyway, just so you know, okay, 1 hour, I don't have to set an end time because it's already in there. And you can set this up as a recurring meeting if you want to, which is nice. But that's pretty much it, right? So I don't need to do anything more there, and I save it. Now, this is step 1, to schedule the meeting. I still haven't connected it to Facebook. That's what we're going to do next now. This is the non-obvious part. So now I've scheduled a Zoom meeting for that same time as the Facebook Live event, correct? Right,
Okay.
you with me? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have to connect the live streaming. So I click on live streaming.
Okay.
Right after the save, you see it now that all the details there when we were in the details tab, right? After I made the event, right? It's showing this to me, right? I can click join now,
Got
of
it.
course, but I want to go to live streaming. This is the key part. And I have to click edit the live stream. Okay.
Right.
Now, where do I get this stuff from? This is what I'm going to show you. This is the very non-obvious part. Now I have to go back to Facebook. Yeah. And when
Okay.
we go to Facebook, is it still loading? Really? Seriously, Facebook? Remember we clicked on the setup live streaming button and it's gonna load it. All right. Wow. Seriously, Facebook? Come on now. No, we'll just keep going till it, we'll just keep reloading it till it loads. Yeah, it does it sometimes. There we go. Okay. So when we clicked on set up live streaming, it gives us this.
Right.
Right? And this is what we're going to do now, set up our live streaming. So again, you say, yeah, I'm going to use my webcam. No. We aren't going to use the webcam. This is Facebook saying, do you want directly go through? No, that's if I'm going to do the live via Facebook. I'm not going to do it via Facebook. I'm going to do it via my streaming software, which in this case is Zoom. Okay.
Okay.
So now the stream key, you see,
Right.
I want to copy to my clipboard because now I have to go back to Zoom and put this in here. Okay.
Okay.
Stream key. And what I like to do here is, I highlight it and then delete it and then paste it in to make sure you've got the new one. Otherwise,
Okay.
sometimes you have it on your clipboard and you think you pasted it, you just got the old one.
Right.
All right. I go back and I got to get the other two. And I go back to Facebook And so, okay, I've got that streaming key, and now I go, yeah, right? Where do you want to post? Post to group. And this only, I think it gives me, see, post on timeline, post to a page you manage. But that's why I started in group, so that it defaults to in group. I don't want that else, right?
Okay.
This is important. Go live automatically at the scheduled start time. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, very important. Then we've got now, since I done this many times before, this stream O, I'm forgetting where I get that from, because it stays the same all the time, but we'll figure it out in a moment.
Okay.
So but this event O, I'm going to copy this and put it in there, and then we'll look for that third one. Right. So this is the live streaming page O. Right. I know the names are slightly different. You see, it says
Right.
event O, and it says live streaming page O, but this is the event O. Okay, I'll paste that in. The stream O, I forget where I get this now, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so save changes, and then we'll just, it's in one of these tabs, likely. Oh, I guess I should have looked furthermore. So we'll just go back. All right, so we do the streaming.
Okay.
And the stream key, advanced settings. That's where it is. That's where it is. Yeah, here we go. The server URL, you see? Right here. I knew it was handy somewhere.
Okay.
I just that it's the same every time. You see 443 RMTP. Don't have to do it again.
Because it's the same computer.
Correct. It's from the same computer and everything. Exactly. So, all right. So now I'm done with this. I've got all these things. I can save it, and that's all there is to it. That's it. Now I'm ready. And now on Friday at 9 o'clock, it will automatically start now. Oh, you think, oh, I don't have to do anything. No, you still do. All right. So let me just finish here again. I just have to go back here, and because I went back, just want to just save it again, so it's all done. All right. So now more a little bit that's non-obvious. Okay. I don't think you can see my bar. The icons right at the bottom of the screen. You know what I'm talking about? Right? I don't think you see
just
them.
seeing a lot of different icons.
Yeah, but what I mean, you don't see the Zoom one where it says new stop video. Okay.
Oh no, there are two Zoom icons. I see.
Oh no, not those. No. I mean the Zoom on your window when you have Zoom up right at the bottom of your own Zoom window.
Okay.
It says
no, I don't see it now. No.
Right, you don't see mine, correct. But what I want to say is on your Zoom, first of all, this is important. Make sure that you are the host.
Okay.
Oh, typically you tend to be the host, but sometimes, like I come on with Bina and I may drop off, right, and or leave for whatever reason, and then Bina becomes the host. If you're the host, you can't do the live streaming. You don't have the control, so you need to be the host to be able to do that.
Okay.
Now, I can't unfortunately show you this because Zoom doesn't show you my Zoom window. It hides it.
Right.
But when you put your icon at the bottom of your Zoom window and you're looking at all those icons that pop up when you put your cursor there, right? You see, mute and then stop video, security, and go all the way to the right-hand side and you see more, right? And you see a button called more. Now you're on my Zoom, so you won't see it because you're not the host. You'll only see this if you're the host. And then when you go to the more button, you go through all of the things it will say, pause recording, stop recording, and all of that stuff, right? Live on Facebook, but this is what you want, right? When the time comes at 2 minutes to 9 on Friday, I want to click not live on Facebook, but live on custom streaming service.
Right.
Okay? Now, I can't show this to you, unfortunately, because it's not showing right now. But just remember this, that you've got to click on live on custom live streaming service because you set up that connection, right?
Okay, great.
That way, when you do this, it will keep Zoom up for you and connect to that event. And you'll go live in that, when people click on Facebook on the event, they'll see you come live. Yes? Right? That's because that's where they're going to go and wait for you to come live. Now that's the connection there. Furthermore, when I click on this, I have to go through these steps now because I can't demonstrate it and it's a little tricky. the moment I click on live custom streaming service, it's going to open up Facebook in your default browser, right?
Okay.
If you already got it open, it will open it. Now, I typically run Facebook in Internet Explorer just to keep it separate because it's a different login to my stuff that I use on Chrome, which is, again, a different login. So that's why I separate them too. So it's going to open it up in Chrome, which is my default browser. Now, if you, depending on how you've got it set up, make sure that you've already logged into Facebook, because otherwise it's going to ask you to authenticate it like me, and it takes extra time, and then you get a bit behind, right? So you already have set up that your Facebook window is open. Now, yes, it's kind of obvious, but sometimes we don't think, and you're starting the computer for the day, you haven't logged into Facebook yet, and okay, so then it's just extra. So just have that ready. Now, also be aware that when I click go live on custom streaming service, the very next thing that happens is it opens up a new Facebook window, right?
Okay.
You're going to create a new window. Even if you already got Facebook open, I want to use the same, but create a new window. It puts that window over Zoom.
Right. Okay.
So Zoom is behind it. So be aware of this, because you need to go back to Zoom and put Zoom on top, because Zoom is going to have a little window that pops up and says to you, you are now live on Facebook, and it's got a little dotted button, right? And you've got to click that dotted button. If you don't click that dotted button, you don't start. Yeah. Right. All right. So the reason I mention this is because, let's go through that sequence again. You click live on custom streaming service, a window pops up covering Zoom. Underneath that window is a button you need to click. Yes. Otherwise, nothing happens. Okay. So then you click that, got it, and then you go back to the Facebook, and you'll see it. It will be like, it'll take about a minute loading, creating your. That's why you start 2 minutes early, right? And you'll see it tick, 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 tick there, right? Now, when that's done, you want to go to your Facebook window, and depending on how it is, sometimes it will put it directly where you need to be. Sometimes it will take you, it's not consistent, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. Sometimes you will come to your event page, right? And you'll be, you know what I mean when you say the event page, right? Which is not where necessarily you're going to hold the event, like not in the Facebook group on your timeline, but it's like its own little thing. Then you need to share the event to either your timeline, or I actually share it to my personal timeline, and I share it to the group, and I share it to my page, so that it's there in real time, right? And then, like, when I do now, I mean, of course I can go live right now, but let me go here to my group and show you. Right. So once it's shared, then you want to also just do a few other things. If you're sharing to a group, for instance, you want to, I'm not going to do this now. I'm just going to show, for example, here, you want to pin it to featured. Yes. And once you've pinned it to featured, if you have a group, refresh your page, and then you can pin it to the top, right? You see, there's no pin to top button. I
see, yeah.
Right? You can't pin a post to the top if it's not featured. But if I click pin to featured, the pin to top won't come up unless I refresh the page, right? So pin to featured, refresh, pin to top. Because that way, when people go and look for it and they say, oh, the event is live, and they know it's in the group, they come to the group and it's the very first post they see. Yes. So this is very helpful, right? And then, of course, like in my case, I have guides, and I will also then add it to the guide, right? So that it's there. And I've forgotten to do this actually for last week's one, so I still have to do that. But anyway, so just so you know, and those sharing, when you do this now, and now you've got it coming up, share it from the group. Once you've pinned it and once you put it as featured, share it to your own personal timeline, share it to wherever, other groups that will allow you to do this if you can, but share it right away. It takes a little time, and it makes your thing start a little bit later, but you can do this all before 10 o'clock. And then when time 10 o'clock comes, now you can say, start your recording on Zoom. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I mean, you don't have to, because Facebook records it and you can download it from Facebook, but either way, right? Okay. And then you can say, okay, it's 10 o'clock, we're starting, I've got it all shared, it's all ready, it's all going. Technically people will be there, they'll be able to see you live, but you haven't really started. So you can even start like 10 minutes before to give you a bit more time to do all the sharing. but that sharing
Okay.
makes a very big difference, right? And then you want to ask people to share it as well, right? So please share it to your timeline. I forget to
All
do
right.
it. It's a good thing to do because the more they share, the more people see it. That's the way the
Of
algorithm.
course. Right.
So,
Good idea.
right. So I want to end the recording here, and just to recap on this, the key is we create the event, and then we schedule the live that we're going to do. We schedule it in Facebook on the web app, not on your
Right.
computer program, but on the
Right.
web, Zoom web, where your Zoom account is housed, right?
Right.
You schedule it there, and then you link the two. You go after you create the event, you're done, you saved, everything's done, and it says set up live video. You're going to set up live video. You copy that all across into the streaming software, streaming edit, right? Where it says streaming in the thing.
Right.
You edit that, you copy it all across, and there you go, right? And then when the time comes, you're going to go to your more button, and you're going to say, not live in Facebook because it has that. That's a different thing, right? That's just for immediate. No, I want to go live via the streaming stuff, right? That's very
Right.
unobvious thing because live on Facebook's higher up and you may be in hiring,
Sure.
you do the first thing. Live
Great.
via streaming software. It's already connected and goes. Then the key point is you get that pop-up window that starts a new Facebook. You got to go underneath it, you got it, and then you're good to go. Then once you're in that window, let it load, let it load, let it load. You go to where it should be. You refresh to see if you're live. If you're not, you go to the event and then you share it to where you want to be. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, it seems complicated, but once you know it, you know it.
A
It's
little.
only
But it's
complicated
okay.
in the beginning.
I know Bina understands it 100%, so no problem.
Yeah, yeah, right. But still, it's just go through it
I
step
can,
by
I
step.
can, I can hear that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But John, just
No, but
if you,
thanks. Yeah,
yeah,
you've explained it very well, but
yeah, no problem. So
it's worth
when
going through.
right, exactly. When you do this, just open up and make the window not full screen of the video. And then, it's in a corner and you've got the thing, and then you just go through it, pause the video, do the steps, play, and that's it. Once you got it, then it's no problem.
Right.
Just,
Right.
just this flow thing, you just got to learn the steps. And then, I did that in the beginning. Stop, go through, and then it wasn't very clear. Most of the people who were explaining this didn't quite know it themselves either. So it was a mess.
Sure.
It was a mess.
No kidding.
It was
Yeah,
a mess.
I know.
All right. So my pleasure. And let me end the recording here so that's not too much nonsense at the end. So yes, I
Right.
want. Oh,